Are you ready for another stimulus check from President Trump?
As he floats putting $200 billion in tariff profits into America's pockets in the form of $2,000 stimulus checks.
We're thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. Be great.
We have a lot of money coming in, rebate check for the Americans, and it's coming in at tremendous numbers.
A number of people called it a political stunt or a hoax, but it seems like President Trump is keen on giving these checks to Americans. Look at this. Donald Trump proposes new stimulus checks of up to $2,000 for Americans. This is a great news, but what's the truth behind it? Well, I'm gonna give you each and every detail, but all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's begin. Well, do you know you can save up to $1,100 when it comes to your Medicare plan? That's why I partnered with Chapter, where you can get unbiased help from a real person. Contact Chapter today on 212-461-4492 and get the help that you deserve absolutely free. So let's talk about $2,000 worth of stimulus checks. Americans are waiting for these checks, and it seems like President Trump is keen on giving these checks to millions of struggling Americans. Remember, these checks are proposed for low and middle class income Americans only. Means if you earn more than $100,000, you might not be able to receive these checks. But what's the truth behind it? Is it really going to happen? Because 2 other stimulus checks were proposed in the past, if you remember. The first one was $5,000 when Elon Musk was leading Doge, and President Trump and Elon Musk both came up to a conclusion that it's time to give $5,000 worth of Doge stimulus checks to Americans who are struggling. But what happened to those checks? Literally nothing. But then Josh Hawley came up with a proposal. He came up with a proposal known as American Worker Rebate Act, and in that proposal he proposed $600 for every adult, $600 for every dependent, and $1,200 for a couple. And it doesn't stop here. A family of 4 can receive up to $2,400. But even Republicans were opposing this bill, such as Bernie Moreno, and he said that this bill will never pass.
Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill to provide tariff rebates for families who...
We're going to pay down their debt. No,
So
we're going to pay down it. We have $37 trillion debt.
Why do you think a Republican then would introduce this kind of...
Because you're talking about it.
I mean, oh yeah, okay.
That's it. We'll never pass. We have a $37 trillion debt.
So as you can see that even Republicans like Bernie Moreno said that this bill will never pass. We have $37 trillion worth of debt. We need to pay down this debt first. But the biggest question is that what President Trump wants. And it seems like President Trump wants to give money to American people, but the people at his own party are opposing him. Remember that around a month ago, President Donald J. Trump announced the possibility of rebate, or you can call it tariff rebate checks to all Americans. And we all know that after the approval of President Trump, Josh Hawley came up with this American Worker Rebate Act. But even Republicans are opposing this bill. And now, after that bill just literally went down to the trash bin, now President Trump once again saying that now I need to give money to American people. And he said that I propose new stimulus checks of up to $2,000 for Americans. Well, remember, you can call them stimulus checks, tariff rebate checks, or rebate checks, or refund checks, whatever you want to call them. But you need to understand that this is a huge opportunity for millions of Americans, because now even a number of Democrats are pushing this administration to approve these checks for Americans. Well, we are already in the middle of a shutdown. Americans are struggling, especially low and middle class income Americans, and seniors and disabled Americans are struggling the most. So what's next for Americans? Look at this. President Trump has said he's considering offering American stimulus checks between $1,000, let me highlight it, $1,000 and $2,000 from tariff revenue. And He said that he's gonna shift around $200 billion towards Americans, means he'll give that $200 billion in the form of a rebate or tariffs rebate stimulus checks to Americans, which is indeed a great thing to do. We all know that Americans are struggling. And this is not the first time he talked about it. Recently, in an interview to OAN, he said this.
We also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America.
How much are you thinking for that, sir?
Well, we're thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000.
So as you can see that President Trump wants to give this money to Americans, but the biggest question is, what about his party? Are Republicans ready for this decision? Well, when it comes to giving billions and billions of dollars to other nations, everyone votes overnight and pass those bills. But whenever it comes to giving money to struggling Americans, such as low-end, middle-class income Americans, everyone says that we have this reservation, we have that, and we cannot do that. Why? And this is the biggest question. Well, we all need to understand that there are numerous proposals. One is from a Congressman, Ro Khanna. Well, he also proposed $2,000 worth of checks. Let me show you. Representative Ro Khanna, a California Democrat, is proposing $2,000 worth of payments to Americans making under $100,000, arguing that the move would offset some of the President Donald J. Trump's tariffs, which he says have jacked up the prices. We all know the inflation is up right now, and it's actually doubled than last year. But a number of analysts and experts are saying, no, this is not the case. Everything is going fine. Americans are living a lavish life. They are flourishing. They have money to spend. Are you able to fulfill your basic needs with the income that you have right now? Well, let me know in the comments below. But one thing is very important. Well, Americans are supporting this narrative, or you can say supporting this very important proposal from President Donald J. Trump of $2,000 worth of stimulus checks. Because remember, when Josh Hawley introduced that American Worker Rebate Act that will give $600 to Americans, a number of Americans said that this is not enough. We need more than that. And when President Trump talked about $2,000, American says that yes, this is something that we need right now. It will not solve our problems overnight, but this is a breathing room that we can have in this time of inflation. By the way, if you support these $2,000 checks from President Trump, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus checks. Again, if you support him, then write in the comment section, I support stimulus checks. Because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. And at the same time, a number of lawmakers are pushing this administration to give some sort of relief to Americans. And by the way, this is separate than these $2,000 stimulus checks. If you remember, a Democrat were talking to a witness and asked that if we give $2,000 worth of monthly checks to Americans, is it going to solve any problems that Americans are facing right now? And the witness said that yes, it will solve a number of problems. So monthly checks are also on the table, but remember, this is a theory right now. No one is actually doing anything about it. But when it comes to this $2,000 worth of stimulus checks proposed by President Donald J. Trump, even Republicans are in favor of these checks. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this whole situation? Well, if you have any questions at all, then please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer each and every question of yours, as Credit Viral channel will always be with you in your good and difficult times. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.